This is Boomer Life on CL 650.
Yes, we're back. This is Boomer Life on CL 650. And joining us in the studio today from the BC Seniors Living Association, our Executive Director, Marlene Williams, along with Board Member Alison Howard and Assessor Lydia Miller. Now, ladies, we've all been having this great conversation about choosing a retirement home and all of the facts surrounding this. We know it's not an easy decision for this family member. So now that we've moved past that, we've made the decision to pick the right community and we're narrowing it down. What are some of the benefits that might help sell this process?
Actually, I have a little quick story to share just on this topic.
Great.
I was working with a family, and it was a daughter. She lived in the community or the neighborhood. She was looking for mom. Mom was isolated. She lived in the family home, and you spend like an hour, maybe sometimes an hour and a half, discussing what their needs are, what mom's needs are, why you're looking here, what the budget is, what the amenities and services are that you're looking for. And you go on the tour, they tell you that I need mom to have access, direct access from her bedroom to the bathroom. That was number one, right? And it's like, that was brought up 3 times during the tour. You come back, you sit down. Which suite did you like the best? That's great. So what's the next step here? What's your biggest concern about mom moving in? I'm afraid of just dropping her at the door and leaving her. She's going to feel abandoned. She won't know what to do. She won't know where to go, who to see. And that is a true story, right? So going from not having direct access from the bedroom to the bathroom, no longer up there on the objection list. The scale of 1 to 10, it was nowhere to be found. So now it's that feeling of abandonment. And I know that our communities have procedures in place, they have checklists, and they have community ambassadors, residents in-house who serve and volunteer to help orient and coordinate the move-in with that new resident. They sit with them at dinner, they invite them out to events, if they talk to them about their hobbies, make them feel welcome. They take them and escort them when they go on the bus and go shopping, right? Just to help them acclimatize to the new environment and make them feel welcome.
A little bit of hand-holding,
Yeah.
right? It's trying to make it a gentle process.
Totally, yes.
And it feeds that purpose that we were talking about before for the people who've lived there for a while. All of a sudden, they become ambassadors and they're orientating new people to the community and they're giving back. And that's what we love to do as human beings.
Purpose.
We love to give back and create purpose.
I could share the little story of when we moved my mother-in-law into a seniors community just a couple of years ago, and she was completely antisocial when she was in a house. She had no friends, no interaction with the community. Once she moved into this seniors community in Burnaby, talk about abandonment. Us as the family, we were abandoned. It would be like, "Hi, Mom, how you doing?" Phone at about 5:30, and she'd say, "Well, I'm just on my way out for dinner. I'll have to call you later." And she's running out the door.
Yeah,
and then if we showed up to visit, she'd shoo you along. She'd say, "I'm going to a workout class today. I don't have time to visit with you."
Yeah, that happens.
Yeah. We were in absolute shock. So this obviously is a great benefit. You don't want the seniors to feel alone, and you don't want, to feel abandoned, as you had mentioned. So talk a little bit more about choosing the right location. We've covered health, we've covered environment, location. What about recreational activities and that social aspect? Meeting friends, making new friends, male, female. Anything to add there?
I think service is a big component of the retirement communities because, people that know anything about the hotel industry, and like Lydia, I came from the hotel industry before I joined this one. And so everything about a hotel, as everybody knows, it's all about service. It's people waiting on you, checking you in, being nice. How can I help you? What more can I do for you? Did you enjoy your meal? And it's interesting because I went into to a social event, and I ended up speaking to a regional director of a big chain, Coast Hotels. And when he said, "Oh, hi, Marlene, how are you doing?" I said, "Great." He said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Oh, I'm running BCSLA." And he goes, "Oh, you're the one who's stealing all my staff." He said, "You're stealing all my GMs, and you're stealing all my chefs." And I said, "Yeah, we are, Mark. Nice to talk to you. Bye."
So you've got good quality people.
Well, yeah, and so the retirement industry is attracting a lot of the hospitality, and they've got that service model driven in them. And so that's what they do. They're there to take care of and service and make those particular seniors' life comfortable and wonderful every day. And so I think that's one of the big benefits as well. You may not want someone always wanting to do things for you, but it's just that, good morning, how are you? What a beautiful day, lovely blouse. Like, they talk and make the person feel like it is their home. And I think that's a really big benefit, and as part of the service for the independent living and the assisted living communities.
And I'm sure the Fairmont hotels are hating us now too, because we're stealing a lot of their executive chefs.
Yes, we are.
We are.
What about the social programs and recreational programs?
So I think I was going to mention that because I think each community has a focus that is sort of the heart of their community. Some of them are an intellectual base. So I know there's communities that are based on university campuses, and you can actually take university courses while you're living in that community. There are others who have active lifestyle, as Origin does. There's others who are all about the social aspect in terms of getting out into the community and going to the casino and going shopping and doing that type of thing. Each resident community really does have their own focus. And so the thing is to look at, am I active, or do I want to get active? Is it that I've always been very involved in fitness, and I love to swim and I love to stay healthy? Do I want to get out and do Nordic pole walking? Are those my values? Or do I love cooking? Do I love cooking classes? Is quilting important to me? Is sewing important to me? Is knitting important to me? Does this community offer these things? The bridge that we talked about, as Mom always played bridge clubs can be massive in these communities. Woodworking for gentlemen. Is there a woodworking shop? Does Dad love to tinker with his tools?
This is great. It's not just bridge and bingo.
It's not just
No,
bridge and
absolutely
bingo.
not.
No.
And pool tournaments and Wii tournaments.
And we is massive in
Oh, my
communities.
goodness.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
We
really
tennis
big.
and we bowling.
We tennis and we bowling.
Yes. Now, and it's interesting because I think
great.
some of the retirement communities, they've got resident councils, and so the residents get together and they speak on behalf of all the residents in the actual building, and so they may go to the retirement community and say, there's 10 or 15 of us that really would like to XYZ. Can you do it for us? And a prime example of that is Tapestry at Arbutus Walk. Residents went to them at the time. The general manager, Bill Rankin, who is on our board of directors, went to him and said, you know what? We would really like to swim. So can you organize that twice a week the bus takes us up to the UBC, to the aquatic center, sorry, not UBC, so we can go swimming? They do it twice a week regularly. The bus loads up. It started out, I think, with 6 or 8 people. He said it's now up to like 15 or so people, and they go swimming. They wanted a pub.
It's great. It's not, sorry to interrupt, it's not just the community leaders, determining what the residents need. It's the residents that get the input.
It's a partnership. It absolutely is a partnership, because we can devise some of the greatest programs in the world, and we do as an industry, we do. But then residents themselves, they've lived this life. They know what they want, and if they can bring those ideas forward, we want to meet them where they're at and provide what it is that they're looking for.
And a very simple example of that is, we think because we're boomers, we're working, in a community, and it's like, okay, movie night. Let's put on something really old in black and white with Clark Gable. Really?
From Turner Classic Movies.
Yeah.
It's like, yes, there's a time and place, and yes, you need to have an assortment, but what about All the President's Men? What about the more recent movies that are out now?
Hunger Games.
Yeah.
Sure.
The seniors want to see them.
You're
right?
dealing with an intellectual crowd.
Yes.
You are, yes.
And can we talk a little bit about the food? How important is the food aspect that's provided in a seniors community?
Well, I think it's really, really important, because I think what happens is in a lot of ways, the meal service is one of the most important part of their days. And so they don't want to just go and sit at a table and have stuff put down and walk away and put down. So about 18 months ago, BCSLA started doing working with Cisco Foods and the Okanagan Chefs Association, and we started putting on seminars to help communities provide the style of food and beverage that, as a senior, everybody deserves. Would you like some wine with your dinner? is this bottle okay? Like doing just like they would in a restaurant and giving them some variation. And there's a lot of retirement communities that still offer 2 or 3 or even 4 different options on the menu. But some of the new retirement communities that are now being built, you walk in there and open a menu, and it's like going to the Cactus Club. You can order whatever you want off that menu. There's sometimes up to 30 different things on the menu. And so these seniors are now living in a community, and their dining experience is an adventure every day.
If they want to eat pad thai, that could be an option for them. If they just want plain English roast beef and mashed potatoes, they can get that too.
Yeah, it depends. And the menus rotate, I think, every 4 weeks.
4
is
to
that
6
correct?
weeks,
4 to 6 weeks. And then they have specials too. And so, and again, the resident service council feeds that information back to the chef. And it's funny because I was talking to a chef one day, actually the chef at Tapestry, and I just sort of said to him, so how's this different? Because he came from the Fairmont. And I said, how is this different than the Fairmont? And he said, well, it's quite interesting because he said, I get to be creative and I get to serve great things and I just love all the seniors. But he said, you know, it's really tough because no matter who I talk to, no matter, they all say they can cook it better than me. Because they've cooked for their families their whole life. My roast beef is better than yours. I know I can give you a good recipe for chili. And he said, at first I was quite offended, and now I just say, great, give me the recipe, I'll try it. And he said, I laugh with them and I joke with them. So, you know, I mean, that's because my mom thinks she's the best cook too.
And one of the best things that's a real benefit for the seniors in the residence, they can invite their family and friends to dine with them and reserve a table. Easy peasy. You know, they can still have the same neighbors come over, dine with them, then play bridge afterwards, go for a walk.
Absolutely. And a lot of our communities have private dining rooms as well that generally you can book without a charge, and you can just eat off the regular menu, or you can have something catered. So if you have an anniversary, a special occasion, a milestone birthday, a regular birthday, or you just want to hang out with your family and have a little bit of privacy.
No, bring in the grandchildren's birthday party.
Yes, exactly.
Bring it into the seniors community.
Yeah.
Of course.
Intergenerational.
Intergenerational, super important aspect.
Sounds great. There's something for everybody. You're listening to Boomer Life on CL 650, and joining us in studio from the BC Seniors Living Association, our Executive Director, Marlene Williams, along with Board Member Alison Howard and Lydia Miller. And we've been talking about food. We need to carry on this conversation. If you'd like more information about BC Seniors Living Association, check them out online, www.bcsla.ca. We'll be right back on Boomer Life.
Celebrating the baby boomer lifestyle. This is Boomer Life on CL 650.